Hello, everyone, and welcome to our free Arctic Animals trivia game with Heather from Love of Learning.
Hi.
This is going to be super fun. I can't wait to look at all the cute animals and all the fun little trivia things and make my own guesses too.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to say one thing before we get too far. I am actually not seeing, like I usually do in the event, where to go to actually watch the live video. And I want to make sure that like we're all on the same page there. Happening now. Yeah, it's not showing me what it usually does. So I want to make sure that everybody knows where to
I
go.
think it is on I see it in the Homeschool Quest group here.
Oh, so it
It
is in the
is
main group, perhaps?
it. Yes, it is live now in the main group. Let me grab that link and
Ah,
post it
perfect.
in the event so everyone can know it's happening. Oh, it looks like Janet already posted in the event for the link. Perfect. So everyone should be able to see there if they just go to discussion on the event that you should be able to find the link to the live video.
Great. Fantastic. I can't figure out how to how to mute it, so I'm hearing everything twice. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can figure that out.
Well, as long
There
as
we
you can hear
go.
us, that's the
I
benefit.
got it. I got it. I told you technology and I are not friends. So I don't know why that is. All
It's
right.
just like that sometimes. All right,
Every
well,
once in a while.
if everyone that is joining us live can share where they're joining us from, we'd love to chat with you, see where you're from, and see your participation, all your guesses in the comments. And if you're watching this, the rewatch, just comment rewatch or replay so that we can see which of you are watching after.
Yes, absolutely. I will get started. So it's just me over here. I am Heather and I'm 39, almost 40. It's frightening for me. In less than a month. And so the next time we see each other, I will be 40 and I am coming to you from Maryland. So we have a crazy, crazy, crazy storm going on outside. I am
That's
crossing
crazy.
all of my fingers and toes that we keep internet this entire time. So we shall
Well,
see.
good luck with that. I hope you luck with that. I am joining from Arizona, which is currently snowed. Got like a couple inches of snow on the ground outside.
Oh
That's
my
fun.
goodness. Yes, that is fun. Crazy, but very fun.
Yeah.
Who else is joining us?
I see Janet is posting that she is also here in Arizona.
Okay. All
And we
right.
have a couple people watching here, so I think that we can go ahead and start the trivia.
Great. Okay. Well, I have a couple of things I always say at the beginning of my trivia classes. This is not a quiz. If you get it wrong, that actually makes it more fun. Because we are learning through all of this. I try to find really quirky and bizarre things about animals or whatever topic we're talking about. So, if you were to know all of these things, that actually would make it rather boring for you. So, they're all true false questions. So, I will read to you a statement and you drop in the chat whether you think it is true or false. I always encourage you, if you say false, why you think it's false, because that makes it even more fun, just an extra level of challenge. And if I look this way, it is because that is where the chat is, and I'm trying to see your responses. So,
Let me have
I, hey, Paisley and Lily, welcome,
a couple
welcome.
of people from Puerto Rico and West Virginia. We got quite a diverse group here of all around the world.
Yes, and we normally get some from, like, Australia too, so I'm,
Oh,
like,
that's
waiting for them
fun.
to join.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are gonna be covering 5 Arctic animals today. So, we are going to start with the question of what do you know about Arctic animals, just in general? Any facts about any Arctic animal? Yes.
I
E
I quite like Arctic animals. They're quite cute. I don't know that many facts though. I feel like I've watched too many documentaries about them as a kid, and I just like have somehow forgotten the information. I used to
Oh,
be
no.
obsessed with those documentaries.
I am a frequent documentary watcher myself, so just the phrase, "I've watched way too many documentaries," I could probably end a sentence there. Um, but okay, well, anyone else, if you wanna drop your Arctic, animals knowledge in the chat, that would be fantastic. I'd love to know what you know. But we'll get started with the polar bear because everybody knows polar bears. I think you're going to know all of these animals, by the way. I don't think there's any like weird, tricky animals. All right. So, polar bears can smell a seal on the ice 10 miles away and its breathing hole 1.5 miles away. The seal's breathing hole. What do we think? Polar bears
I
can
don't
smell a
know.
seal on the ice 10 miles away and its breathing hole 1.5 miles away.
I feel like it's gonna. I'm gonna guess true.
Okay.
And to clarify for all you watching, I don't know the answers to these. I'm truly guessing with you.
That's
This is gonna
right.
be
That's
fun.
the other thing we usually say in the beginning. I keep this strictly very, very secret.
Confidential information.
Totally need to know. All right. Victoria says true. I know. Yeah, Amelia's not feeling well. So we are joined by Jasmine today.
I am her sister, so I am subbing in for her.
Yes, switch out. Pinch hitting.
I hope I'm as fun.
You definitely are going to be. I'm not even
Thank
remotely
you.
worried. All right. So, it seems the consensus here is that this is true. All right. I am going to reveal the answer then, in that it is not true. So, they
What?
can actually smell seals on the ice 20 miles away, but the breathing hole only 0.6 miles away. So, the on the ice is double and the breathing hole is about half. So, this is obviously a very important skill. Regardless of the specific numbers, because
Yeah.
seals are their primary prey. So they need to be able to detect them. So obviously in the Arctic, like everything's white in the winter, but I mean polar bears are kind of big. So I mean, like white or not, I feel like there's still a need to hide from them because you can see them coming. So this is super important for the polar bear to be able to smell them so far away. I find that super amazing.
That's so
Just in
cool.
general.
That's very impressive. That's very
Very
impressive.
impressive.
Looks like we have Braxton joining us. Hi, Braxton.
Braxton, and Victoria, I suppose, if
Oh,
Victoria's around.
yes.
We often have parents joining, like, as themselves,
It's
so
truly fun. It's truly fun.
alright, next question. Polar bears regularly swim up to 30 miles without rest.
That's a hard one. That I almost feel like that sounds like I feel like it sounds right, but then maybe it isn't. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna say false. I'm gonna say
Okay.
false.
False, you think it's more or false, you think it's
I
less?
think I don't know. I feel like maybe it's more.
Okay.
I feel like that's the unconventional option.
Alright,
We got a
so
lot of truths and we
false
got
more
a false more.
and some very emphatic truths.
I
People are like hardcore either way.
don't know. I think
Okay.
Braxton might know something. He's very passionate.
I love the passionate answers. Those are the most fun. Well, Braxton, I'm very sorry. This is not true. It is a heck of a lot more. So they can swim on a regular basis, like your average day, 60 miles without rest. However, there was actually a record set of 426 miles.
Whoa.
Isn't
That's
that
insane.
insane? I mean, I can't even sit in a car that long. I can't even imagine. That is a long, long way. So obviously they have front paws that help with out with this. They kind of use them like paddles, and very powerful hind legs. So they are excellent swimmers. So not only are they catching seals on the ice and like sticking their head through holes and stuff, but they are in the water as well. So they will
That's
often be
crazy.
referred to as marine mammals because of how much time
Wow.
they spend in the water.
That's
Um,
crazy.
I know, right? Yeah,
And it says that's
lots
so
of like
scary.
those. Yeah, I know. I feel like I wouldn't want to come across all of that. All right,
Yeah.
next one up. A polar bear's stomach can hold up to 66 pounds of food.
That's a lot of pounds.
That is a lot. They are also big. So
I feel like that's so specific, I'm gonna say true. I feel like it's a specific number, you know? I'm gonna say true.
yes, exactly. New people joining us. It's totally fine that you haven't missed too much. And even if you did, you can go back and watch or you can catch the
Yes.
slides. So do introduce yourselves so we can give you a shout out. All right. So Braxton is going true again on this one, perhaps for the same reason that it is such a specific number.
Yeah.
What do we think? A polar bear's stomach can hold up to 66 pounds of food. All right, Lily thinks it's
She's
actually
saying
less
less. Okay.
because that's a crazy amount of food.
That's a big that's a lot.
It's like a daughter and a half for me, which feels like a lot.
I would say that's a lot.
Anybody else on this one?
I think
Going
we
once.
got mostly trues.
Mostly trues. Okay. All right. Here we go. It is a very specific number, but is a different specific number in that it is more.
Oh, wow.
88 pounds of food. So
Wow.
seals are also not small for the most part.
That's
And
true.
they pack a lot of oomph, it even if they are smaller ones. I've I've seen some very sad documentaries. I mean, it's nature, it is what it is, but the baby ones and everything, even them, they can hold a lot of food. Let's just put it that way. So this is obviously to help them build up fat reserves to survive in the harsh environment that is the Arctic. It is quite cold there, and we will be talking about
Yeah.
specific temperatures
That's a lot. That's
later
a
on.
lot of pounds.
That is a lot of pounds. Yeah.
I'm
All right.
surprised.
So, polar bears can reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour on land and 6 miles per hour in the water.
That's so specific. I almost say false more. I would almost say faster because I think that like regular bears
Uh-huh.
um can go quite fast. So I'm gonna say that they can go faster than that.
So faster on land, faster on water,
I'm gonna
both.
say at least faster on water and probably fast. I'd say faster both.
Okay. All right.
I feel like they're quite big. They can make quite a fast distance.
All right,
We're
we
getting
got a
lots of
lot of
falses
falses
in
on this
here.
one. All right. So, all right. So for everybody else, are we saying false more, false less? What are we going here?
Oh, we got someone agreeing with me. I hope I'm not leading the pack astray.
All right. I think everybody has said false. We've not had a brave true. This one is true.
Oh no!
I know, right? So 25 miles on per hour on land, 6 miles per hour in water. Now, let's go back to that previous about swimming 60 miles on the regular. That would take a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like quite the journey. They will swim for days. So, hence being called a marine mammal as opposed to a land mammal that happens to live near water. So, yeah, they can like a lot of animals that can go fast. It's mostly for sprinting, like short distances. They aren't going to run 25 miles per hour like forever.
That's fair.
So yeah, exactly, right?
That would be exhausting.
That-
No wonder they
fair.
eat 88 pounds of food.
But very, very, very strong swimmers, as evidenced by all of that. I can't even imagine, especially at that pace. All right, so this is an interesting one. If you were to eat a polar bear's liver, it could poison you. True or false? Not sure you'd have occasion to do so, but
Yeah, if that's just like who discovered whether or not this is true or false. I want to know. Cass, like I like to have a word with you. That's a little strange.
I love sciencey questions because I'm always like, who wanted to know this?
Yeah.
Like, why do we know this information? Who got up one morning is like, I'm going to go get funding because I demand to know the answer to this specific question.
Like, I feel like there's got to be a specific reason why they wanted to know.
Right. And like, what is it? I don't always have the answer to that particular question.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we're split on this one so far.
Yeah. I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna say true. I feel like it's such a specific thing that I feel like it's got to have like, some sort of truth backing behind it.
All right. Let's find out. Yes, this one is true. So the reason for this is it has a high concentration of vitamin A, polar bears just in general, and it's stored in the liver. We need vitamin A, but like too much of a good thing, kind of thing going on here. So if you were to consume a polar bear's liver, you could be poisoned. So don't do that. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't do it anyway, but now I'm like extra aware.
we got someone said who or what would want to actually eat that anyway.
I do not know. I have no information on that part. All right, we are moving on to a new animal. I hope everyone is familiar with the narwhal. If you are not, they are super fascinating. They are often
so cool.
called the unicorn of the sea. And it is often thought that is where unicorns came from, like the concept and idea of a unicorn based on a narwhal. So, okay. All of that aside, true or false, a narwhal's tusk can grow as long as 15 feet.
I'm gonna say true. I feel like that seems about right. Okay,
I love that graphic.
I was totally convinced as a kid that narwhals were a mythical creature. Totally.
Oh,
for at least a couple years.
They look mythical, do they not? Yeah, they don't seem real.
Yeah, because like I read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
And
I'm like, there's no way that there would be an actual narwhal, right?
They are,
because like it didn't seem right.
Yeah, they're a miracle of nature for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got a lot of truths. I think we're leaning true on this one.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer is sadly not true. Not quite so long. It's shorter. Not that 10 feet is like anything to snuff at, right? And for those who don't know, their tusk is actually a tooth that comes out specifically the left side of the jaw. Again, very, very specific and weird. And it can be almost half the size of the narwhal itself, which is around 17 feet. Obviously, it varies between male and female, et cetera, et cetera. But 10 feet is like the long end of their tusk, and 17 feet is the long end of a narwhal itself. So there you go. It's a tooth coming out of the left side.
That's so weird. And it's like on all of them, too. It's a very specific genetic mutation.
Right? Okay, so this is actually going to be a running theme from here. But a narwhal's tusk has up to 15 million nerve endings.
That's a lot. I'm going to say false. I think less.
Okay, false less. What does everybody else think?
I don't just follow my answer too, because
Oh, Lily.
I've been wrong a couple times.
That's a fun, like, I don't know what to call it. Is this a sticker? I'm like not up on my lingo.
Yeah, I think that's called a stick. So,
I said
so people are saying
stick before,
less.
but that's not right. All right, everyone's saying false less. Some people are angry. I don't know. Did I say something wrong? I'm so sorry. There's a lot of like angry emojis. I don't know what's happening right
I
now.
think they're just upset that they didn't get it right.
Oh, maybe. Okay. All right. So there's some I don't knows, but a lot of false lesses. And the
Okay.
false lesses have it, you guys.
Yeah, we did it.
You
We
did
got it right.
it. So 10 million nerve endings. Not that that is, not a lot. But they make this tusk, this tooth, very, very sensory, and it's an organ all by itself. They can detect all sorts of things around it through this 10-foot long tooth. So changes in water temperature, pressure, even salinity. So they can
Wow.
learn really everything they need to know about their environment through this tooth, this tusk, as a result of all of these nerve endings that are in it. So
That's
super
crazy.
cool. I feel like humans are not adapted in cool ways really whatsoever. I mean, the more I learn about animals, I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. All right. Narwhals can dive down more than 1 mile, like dive down deep more than 1 mile.
I feel like that's true. I think that's true. Like they're marine animals.
Okay.
Seems legit.
What does everybody else think? Oh man, we've got a whole range of emotions going on right now. There's crying, there's wows, there's happy faces, and there's angry faces. Everyone's feeling all the feels at this moment. Okay. False. More. Couple trues. We're split on this.
We got split answers here.
We've got split answers here. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Yes. So they can dive down as much as 1.1 miles, which to put it in perspective, that is deeper than the height of the Empire State Building, if you have ever
Wow.
been there. I have not, but I thought it was a cool fact to put in there for those of you who have. So this is actually where their favorite foods are located. So it is necessary for them to go down there. They eat squid, fish, and shrimp. And these are deeper sea creatures. So there you have it. All right. Next question. All right. Narwhals can live for more than 50 years in the wild, but can't survive at all in captivity.
Well, that's a specific one. I'm gonna say true. I feel like that seems right because I feel like with their tooth, it'd be hard.
It would like
to,
get in the way.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be hard to live in captivity.
All right. Anybody else? What do you think? Do you agree with Jasmine?
False.
There's like so many dismayed faces. All right. Some trues. Oh no, we're starting to split. What do you guys think? Narwhals can live for more than 50 years in the wild, but can't survive at all in captivity. Okay. I think we're almost directly down the middle here. Maybe maybe like one more true. But all right, here we go. So this is true. So they can live for, 50 years is like, that's pretty good, right? Especially in their harsh conditions. And they have some pretty nasty predators. So, but for whatever reason, and it actually is unclear to scientists, maybe it's this 10-foot long tusk, I don't know. But it's confused scientists that they absolutely cannot survive in captivity. So, however, their closest relative, which is the beluga whale, I don't know if any of you guys would have thought about the beluga, for those who are familiar. I did not. I was surprised to find that that was its closest relative. I have actually pet a beluga.
That's so
Shout out to
cool.
the shed in Chicago. And yeah, they can survive in captivity just fine. So there's something that is different somehow about a narwhal that doesn't allow it to survive in captivity. So
I'm just saying, I think it's the tooth.
it could be. That's definitely a solid guess. All right. A male narwhal's tusk spirals clockwise and is longer than a female's tusk. Lot going on here.
Yeah, that's a lot of information there. I have to consider. To think about this one.
I like to
feel
sometimes throw like a multi-layer question in here.
Yeah. I feel like in the wild, a lot of times it would make sense that a male's would be longer than a female's tusk, but the spirals clockwise. I almost feel like that's in there to trip us up, you know?
Okay. So
I'm gonna say false on this one.
okay. All right. Let's see what everybody else thinks. All right. So we have some trues. We have a false. We have just like a laughing face. I don't know if we're still laughing at like the last one or I feel like I also always get the comments a little delayed. So I don't always know the context of why we are laughing or crying or angry. So apologies for it not being entirely straightforward on my end. And also I have a very dry throat. I am coming off of a bunch of classes, so I apologize. I keep like drinking in your face and
always no problem.
The microphone.
It's no problem. Water essential.
All right. So I'm going to ask it a final time, then I'll reveal. All right. A male narwhal's tusk spirals clockwise and is longer than a female's tusk. All right.
I'm still
Here we go.
False.
It is indeed false. All right. So there's a couple of things here. So like you said, it's longer than a female's. Now, often a female doesn't have a tusk at all. However, they can develop a tusk. If they do, it's shorter than a male's. All right. So that's that. A male can actually grow 2 tusks. Rare, but it happens. But it always spirals counterclockwise, which is just a very strange fact,
so
sort of by itself. Again, like I'm not entirely sure why that is, but there you have it. So, just to recap, counterclockwise, males have longer tusks than females, and the females often don't have any tusks at all. And some males can grow 2 tusks. So
that's crazy.
I don't know if it's like finding a 4-leaf clover or what.
Yeah, it's like it's so specifically the same. I almost wonder if it's some sort of like genetic mutation that it's just consistent. You know?
Yeah, perhaps. I apologize for the typo on this slide. I'm gonna like go fix it right now. So when you guys see it next, if you download this, it doesn't say narwhale because that is definitely not how you spell it. I don't know why I didn't catch that in my editing. Apologies. All right. So like humans, narwhal tusks have a hard exterior and an interior with nerve endings. So the outside's hard, the interior is soft, and that's where all those 10 million nerves exist.
I almost feel like thinking it through, if they have so many nerve endings to help them be able to tell the water temperature, the salinity, all these things, I'm gonna say it's gonna have to be at least that there have some nerve endings on the outside so that they can be able to tell these things, you know? So I'm gonna say false.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. So not everyone do the same answer as me because again, I don't know these answers. I'm guessing with you. Don't follow the leader. I may not know what I'm talking about.
Well, see, what you just did is exactly how I try to get my students to think. Like thinking through logically what the answer might be. I mean, you have a 50% chance of getting it right.
Yeah.
So, the odds are fairly decent. But I put these slides actually in a very specific order to try to give you information that might help you in future questions. Because now you have some new knowledge that you didn't have before. So, all right. So false. I think is mostly where we're going here.
I think the kid said this is false.
Yes. Using prior information to say this is false. Okay, I'm going to reveal it. It is false. So they're the
Yeah.
exact opposite as us. They have a hard interior and a soft exterior. Um, they can damage their tusks, as you might imagine,
Yeah.
because if you don't have a hard exterior, you can damage some things. So I imagine that would be quite painful. So,
Yeah.
but like you said, exactly for those reasons, because they're sensing their environment, the nerves have to be on the outside. All right. Narwhals start out nearly all white and grow darker with age.
That's an interesting one. I feel like with other animals, sometimes they will start out being like less colored and then get their color as they age. So I almost feel like I think I'm gonna say true.
Okay.
That's what my guess is.
So far, that is the only answer. We have 0 falses so far, I think, on this one.
I hope I'm right. I hope I'm not leading everyone astray.
Okay, let's see. Anybody else going once? Going twice? All right, we're pretty sure on true. So, false. So they
Oh
start off
no.
as like this blue gray and then they become blue black as juveniles and the adults are like an off gray. And if they're really, really, really old, they are nearly all white. So oftentimes, a scientist is able to tell the age just by looking at the color.
That's
Obviously,
cool.
there are other factors that they can look at as well, but that can give you a rough estimate of age based on the color. And yeah, the color also adapts to their various needs at different points in life, which is just so cool. I mean, I I feel like with age, we just deteriorate, period. Like we don't like start getting new superpowers that like help us with daily life. How awesome would that be? But
Yeah.
this is one of the things that works well for them because yeah, it adapts to their needs at various stages in life. Obviously, it's just one thing that their bodies do, but color is one of the things that helps protect them at various stages of life. So there you go. All right. We are moving on to puffins. Puffins are
Puffin.
very, very, very cool birds. So hopefully you're familiar with puffins. All right. So puffins can flap their wings up to 400 times per minute and can fly as fast as 55 miles per hour.
That's so specific. It's so crazy. I feel like this is another one to trip us up. I almost feel like it's gonna be like false, but like more or less. I feel like almost more because I feel like it's gotta be something crazy. We got
I
we
don't
got a
know this.
couple
I feel like
clues.
this kind of is crazy.
I know it is really crazy. It's really fast.
It's
Maybe
really
it's less.
fast.
I don't know. I'm unsure on this one. We
I
got a few trues, a false, and I
I
don't know.
yeah, we definitely are less sure about this one. We don't have anyone who's like really, really, really positive about their answer. Yes, Lily, they do swim very fast. I could only fit so much on a slide, but yes, they do swim um, as well. Okay, guys, let's see what we got here. This is true. Now, I had no idea, by the way, about this. And my daughter absolutely adores birds, especially puffins. So that they're one of the fastest birds based on like the number of times they're flapping per minute. It's insane. They have very compact bodies. They're like little torpedoes in the air and, as Lily mentioned, in the water. So they're very aerodynamic. This helps them for a lot of different reasons. Escaping predators, obviously, being an important one, especially since they do spend a lot of time underwater. There are a lot of threats to them there, but also for traveling long distances for food and other reasons. So, yeah,
That's so cool.
they are very fast. I don't know. I've known about puffins for a long time, and I never would have pegged them yeah,
They
as
look kind
that.
of just like slow and cute, you
I
know?
know,
Like I
right?
don't feel like they look fast.
They don't look fast. Yeah. All right. A puffin's beak changes color.
I'm gonna say this one's true because I feel like as they age or in different environments, it would be different colors
Okay.
to suit your environment better.
So like the narwhal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do other people think? Do you think a puffin's beak changes color?
We got a false. Any other guesses? Don't be shy. We got a true.
We've got it.
One person's confused. They don't know what's going on.
Going with
We got
false
another
though.
false.
After the what question, going false. All right. Any last
Oh, someone agrees
guesses?
with me.
All
I feel
right.
smart now.
Yeah. So they do change color, but not necessarily for what you guys are thinking. So it's by season.
That's
So
interesting.
just like actually a lot of Arctic animals change color, and but these guys change just their beaks. So the bright beak that you've probably seen a billion pictures of, when you think of a puffin, the picture is being taken during the summer, because they are dull and gray in the winter. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but I have to tell you from my many documentaries as well as pictures, I don't know that I've ever seen one with a gray beak. I mean, it's not as fun
I don't think
probably
so
to take a
either.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
only go and take pictures in the summer.
they're like, they just look cooler in the summer. So we're going to snap a shot now. So yeah, it helps them to stay less visible. It is a protection, adaptation for during the winter. So yeah, I
That is so
definitely
cool.
never knew that. Till a while ago. I made this slide a while ago, but it's super interesting because I've never seen one like that. All right. So I don't know if you guys know like how big a puffin is, but they're not like the world's largest birds. All right. So puffins can hold several small fish in their beaks at once, with the record being 42.
I don't know. I feel like they got a nice fish holding shaped beak, you know? I feel like I gotta say this one's true. If not,
Okay.
maybe more.
Okay. Oh,
I
being
feel
bold.
like
Perhaps
think I
false more.
I think I'm gonna say false more. I'm gonna
Okay.
be bold for this one. We got a false and a true.
An
Oh, and I don't know.
undecided.
Oh, someone decided true.
Oh,
They changed their
switching.
mind.
Switching.
Switching it up.
Lily is saying less, so false less.
Seems like we're kind of split here. We got
Again,
like
yes.
3 falses,
Couple of trues, falses for different reasons. All right,
Yeah.
so most often it is just a few fish, but the record is 62.
Ooh, wow.
That is a lot of fish to be holding in a tiny beak. I mean, obviously these are not like ginormous fish, right? But they have like a hinge mechanism in their beak that allows them to open really, really, really wide and to hold all of these fish at once. This is especially important when they have little baby chicks. And okay, by the way, do you guys know what the babies are called?
I don't.
They're not.
I
It's
must
not
know.
chicks. It's not chicks. Does anyone know? Before I give it away, because it's like the most adorable thing ever. All
I need
right.
to know now. I don't think anyone knows.
They're called pufflings.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't that adorable?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So when they are feeding their pufflings, it's really important that they don't have to like leave too often, you know? So
You know
they
what?
just like
Cold.
they shove it all in and bring it all home, and like hopefully it lasts a while for the pufflings.
It's like me bringing in all the groceries in one trip.
Exactly, exactly. And you're like, well, hopefully this holds for a while. Yes, same deal. All right, so puffins can live more than 20 years in the wild and more than 30 years in captivity.
I don't know. I almost feel like they would live longer in the wild than in captivity. But maybe there's so many predators, you know?
Yeah, that's
I gotta
tough, especially
say,
since our last one like couldn't survive at all in
yeah,
captivity. So
yeah, a completely different lifestyle. I gotta
correct.
say, I don't know. I think I'm gonna say false. I think that they could live less in captivity and more in the wild.
Okay. All right.
We got some trues and some falses. We're kind of split here.
Kind of split on this one. I'm thinking the 100% means true.
Yeah, I think so. We're just gonna take it as that.
Oh, she
Unless
said
you wanna
true
change your
earlier.
answer.
She
Oh,
just now is
okay.
adding the 100%. Very,
Okay.
very
Double
confident in the
votes.
true.
Double votes.
All right, guys. So let's hear how long they can live. This is true. So 20 years in the wild and 30 in captivity. So this is actually for birds, because birds typically don't live that long, which is very sad.
Yeah.
But they can adapt to a variety of different environments. And in captivity, they don't have like predators. Hopefully, if the captivity is done well, they don't have like orcas coming after them.
Hopefully not.
So, so, and they're fed on a regular basis. They don't need to shove 62 fish into their mouth to feed their pufflings. So, they do live a really long time for a bird. So, yeah, there you go. Sort of the long and short of it. Oh.
We got some people upset that they didn't get it right.
All right, so we're back to their beaks. Okay, so can they glow as a form of communication?
That's so specific, but also like so crazy if it's true.
Another one where
I
you're
feel
like, why would anyone look into that?
yeah, how do we know this? So we had to confirm that their beaks didn't glow? Or did we
No,
find out that they did?
that's one of the most
I bet-
fascinating parts of my research. I feel like, what on earth?
It's so crazy. I'm gonna say true. I'm gonna go wild and say true.
Okay.
We got one true and one no. One false. Oh no, we got two falses now.
And a very,
Very
very, very,
passionate.
very false.
And then an unsure false. Oh, we're split. We got three falses and three trues.
All right.
I'm saying true. I'm saying true.
All right. Indeed, they glow,
Wow.
you guys. So if they are exposed to UV light, they do glow. I've actually seen a video of
Wow.
this. Look up a video of puffins and ultraviolet light. So this is an actual like sciencey thing, biofluorescence. I hope I
Wow.
didn't butcher that. So certain parts of their beak illuminate. Now, scientists are still trying to figure out exactly why this happens, but they think it is to communicate with other puffins and or to help them when the conditions are like low light. So for example, remember they're going underwater. It only gets darker the deeper you get down. So potentially their beaks might glow if they are going down. So
That's crazy.
their beaks are totally wild.
Got built-in flashlights.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I don't even know what to say beyond what I already did. Their beaks can glow under certain conditions, and scientists looked into it, but are not entirely sure why. All right, puffins have forward-facing spines on their tongue to help kill their prey.
Oh, that's a very specific one again. Like we're getting very like down to the specifics here.
Oh my gosh. And I
I'm gonna
just
say-
realized I put 23 on my code, and it's definitely 2024. The code will
It's-
work. I'm just beating up my brain over it.
It's
Sorry about
still
that, guys.
2023 in my heart.
9 days
We're not
in,
ready
I
to
have not
face the new year.
adjusted.
Yeah, it's only 9 days in. You get a pass on this one. You get a pass.
If I do it again next month, we're making fun of me.
That's true. It's true. Only fair.
All right.
Uh,
So,
we have a couple of true and a false here. Some guesses. I'm gonna say true because I know that a lot of birds use their tongues in dynamic ways.
okay. All right. I'm still stuck on the fact that I didn't remember it was I was looking at like old codes. I'm trying to like defend myself here and I don't think I have a good one.
There's no excuse. You're
No
just
excuse.
unprepared for the year.
I am. This obviously is very evident at this point. All right, so let's see. Do they have forward-facing spines on their tongue to help kill their prey? Let's find out. So they do not have forward facing. It's backward facing, and it's not to kill them. It's actually just to catch and hold. So they don't kill their prey in that way. Anyway, they just fish are slippery, and they need a way to catch them and bring them back. Obviously, at some point, the prey is dead, but
Yeah,
that's
at some
not
point.
it's not the initial purpose. A lot of animals, like their first step is to kill, and then like do the rest. But that is not step one for puffins. So
That's very
again,
interesting.
allows them to transport back to the nest.
There's 62 fish.
Right, exactly. New animal, you guys,
Ooh.
Arctic hares. So
We're switching it up.
we're switching it up. Arctic animals, Arctic hares. I'm just like losing it now. Arctic hares can run up to 50 miles per hour.
That is really fast. They're very small, so I feel
Baseball.
like I can kind of think of that as I can see that.
Okay.
I'm gonna say true.
Okay.
Oh, we got another true.
We have someone
Oh,
who's very disappointed
yes,
that I did
yep.
not know what year it was. I know, man. I'm disappointed too.
How could you?
Why?
We got some truths. Any other guesses?
I
in
did
here?
make this
False?
presentation in 2023. So maybe that was where my brain
okay.
was.
That's fair. You're getting a pass on it. You're getting a pass today.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
we got a false.
A false.
That's
So
a
do you think
passionate
it's
false?
false more or false less? I'm
We
always
got
curious.
two falses now.
False
Yeah,
more
I
or
think
false
that
less?
matters. That matters.
I think it matters
Important
too.
part.
Yeah. Because again, like true false, you have like a 50% chance. So if you're thinking false, I always like to hear why. So false more,
Oh,
false
we
less,
got false more and a false less.
and a false less. Okay.
we are
Thank you for
evenly
clarifying.
split here.
All right, let's see what the answer is. It is only slightly less, really. 40 miles per hour. So obviously, again, this is not forever in a day that they can do this. But they are one of the fastest animals in the Arctic, and they
Wow.
like to like zigzag and whatnot. So they're just like crazy runners trying to escape any predators. So that they live on an open tundra. For those of you who are not familiar with tundras, it is just like flat open space. And even though Arctic hares are white, at least during the winter, they have predators and they need to run. Okay, because there's no place to hide. All right, Arctic hares have large eyes that are set high up on their heads.
I gotta say false. I don't think so because compared to their body size, I think they have fairly small eyes.
Okay,
I feel like it's fairly in the middle of their head, like in terms of ratios.
okay, all right. I think we might still be stuck on the last one. I'm not sure.
Oh,
You,
someone says
true.
you. I think it's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Eye
False, no
location
guess.
is always kind of a weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we got another false.
What do we think?
We
I think
got
we've
more false. Wait, I think we're evenly split. 2 trues and 2 falses.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I feel like they have bigger eyes but lower down. Okay. This one is true. So they have really large eyes that gives them a wide viewing area because again, they're on that open tundra. So,
Yeah.
and then they're also this is interesting to me. So their eyes are set up high on their heads because it allows them to see over like snow drifts and spot threats from a
Oh,
distance. So that is the reason.
interesting.
So even though the tundra is, for the most part flat, drifts will happen. So that yeah, if they are peeking out, their little eyes, well, I should say not little eyes, their big eyes are able to poke out and look to see what's going on. So that is the reason for A, big, and B, like toward the top of their head more so than your average hair.
That's interesting. We got some sadness here in the comments.
No need to be sad. You are learning new things. That is never sad.
Yeah.
All right. Arctic
Well,
hares get the water they need from their food.
I feel like, because I feel like if you're in a tundra, it's kind of gonna be hard to come by. Like, you're not gonna probably find any water that's not frozen, and I'm not sure if with their small body size, that having frozen water or ice would lower their core body temperature. So I almost feel like it's gonna be true.
Okay.
I don't think that they would be consuming ice for water.
A lot of animals do rely on mostly what they eat.
Yeah.
So that is a solid guess.
We got some trues. We got a passionate true. A false. I love the passionate ones. Like,
I know, I do too. Those are
commit,
always my
you know?
favorite.
Fully commit to it.
All right. So Braxton, if I'm remembering names correctly, where do you think they get their water from, if not from their food? Just kind of curious. Waiting on anybody else who wants to jump in on this one. Okay. All right. We're moving forward here. They actually eat snow.
Oh.
Which is interesting to me. So, as you mentioned, obviously, liquid water is like not happening. So they will eat snow to survive. This helps them conserve energy because they don't need to search. It's literally all around them. So they'll lick up snow, and obviously they also do get hydrated from their prey as well. But for the most part, they eat snow. Isn't that
That's very
interesting? Yes, I mean, oh, all right. So I have said this before in my classes that I teach with Level of Learning. I have a feeling that a lot of this is going to change in the coming years because with temperatures changing their environments, I feel like this entire presentation might be might be inaccurate in years to come just based on changing habitats and conditions. So don't hold me to this, unfortunately, as we move on with time. All right. Arctic hares can withstand temperatures as low as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I think everybody here is in the US today. We almost always have some people from not the US, and I never include Celsius, so I always feel bad. All right. Arctic hares can withstand temperatures as low as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm gonna say this is true. I feel like that seems right. Like, they're living in the Arctic, you know? It's gotta be cold.
What do you guys think? I don't know. Anybody else? All right.
Not sure
Everyone's
that's
going
indicating that
true.
it's passionate.
I can't tell if that's like a frustration or
Yeah.
all right. I think everybody's going true on this one. And you guys are correct. So they have thick fur, they have a layer of fat. They can survive. They're also, not super huge. So yeah, -40 degrees. If it gets any colder than
Crazy.
that, they're, you know, in a little bit of trouble and they have to figure some things out.
Yeah.
But
We had
all
one
right.
last minute false.
Oh,
So we're
sorry.
against everyone.
All right. So, like most hares and also rabbits, Arctic hares do not gather in large groups.
I'm gonna say false. I almost feel like they would gather to stay warm.
Mm, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What do we think? Do they? The question is officially Arctic hares do not gather in large groups.
True or false? I'm gonna say false. I think they do gather in large groups. We got a couple trues. Confused. We got another false.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? I always hate cutting people off while they're thinking. But I want to be respectful of time here. Because we still have one more animal to go after this. All right. So this is indeed false. They live in a group called bands. You know how groups of animals always have special fun names. So they live in groups called bands. Safety in numbers, like you said, maintain warmth. Now, this is the surprising part to me. So it can include dozens or even hundreds of
That is
hares
a
in a
lot.
single group. That is a lot. I mean, I could see dozens maybe, but hundreds of hares? That
That's
seems
a force to be reckoned with.
right. I mean,
Like,
I'm not sure I'd want to come
swarm
upon
their
that.
prey.
They've got their eyes and I don't know.
Yeah. It's a
I
little
do not
scary, I'm not
know.
gonna lie.
All right. This might be the last Arctic hare question. Arctic hares can jump up to 15 feet in a single bound. Oh
I'm
my,
gonna
we're all
say
shocked still by the
less.
last one.
I'm gonna say less.
Okay, false Les. What do you guys think? Up to 15 feet in a single bound. I like the music, by the way.
Yeah, it's a
that's
fun little
new.
hat. Oh, we got a false more. Oh, someone agrees with B.
Man, we're all over the map here.
We got all kinds of answers.
I think that one was true. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. This is false slightly less. They can jump up to 10 feet, but compared to their size, that's pretty decent. So if you take their running speed plus their ability to jump forward, this is a pretty good defense mechanism. Obviously, it doesn't always work out, but pretty good. They have really powerful hind legs and this is what I was mentioning before, actually. They can change direction really, really quickly. So they'll like zigzag and run all over the place. Although if they're in a group of hundreds, it sounds like chaos, but if you were to stumble upon like these hundreds of hares, it just would be complete chaos. All right, this might be the last question. Then we get to my favorite Arctic animal. All right, so an Arctic hare's ears are shorter than other types of hares.
I'm gonna say true because with chickens, I don't know if this is weird, but with chickens, I know that with a smaller comb is better in winter because it will freeze. So I'm gonna guess that the tips of their ears can freeze, and so they have shorter ears. That's my guess.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know that about chickens. So there you go. I learned something new.
There you
True? Question mark. So
They're sure.
for those who don't know, hold on. My computer's like, do you want to turn off for the night now? No.
I'm using it actually.
So hares in general First of all, they're different than rabbits. They're not the same thing. Hares will have longer ears than rabbits as like a general rule. They're also bigger than rabbits. So, but so this is comparing specifically to other hares. What do we think? They're shorter than other types of hares.
We got true here. Don't be shy. Just say your guesses. There's 50%
Hopefully we're not
chance you're
petering
right.
out. We have like the best animal saved for last.
Maybe
And I know
reel
we're
it
at an
back in.
hour.
We'll reel it back in.
All right. Well, I will give away this. This is true for pretty much the reason that you said. So, there's an actual principle called Allen's rule, where animals that live in colder climates tend to have like shorter everything,
Yeah.
to conserve body heat because that's really important. So they might have like really strong legs and all of that. Like aspects of them might be really strong, but most of them is small. So that is something
makes
to keep in
sense.
mind.
I was right. I'm very smart now. I feel very smart.
Yes.
Oh, we had a last minute true there. So.
Woo! All right. Arctic foxes, y'all. This is my
Yay, Arctic foxes.
favorite Arctic animal and like really up there in terms of animals in general. All right. Arctic foxes have the warmest fur of any mammal.
That's a bold statement.
Is a bold
I'm
statement.
gonna say true. I'm gonna say true. I gotta stay warm, you know?
I mean, they all have fur. So it's interesting to me. Just as a general.
We got a little fox sticker. That's so cute.
All right.
We got
Someone
false.
says false. All right. What do you guys think? Arctic foxes have the warmest fur of any mammal.
Oh, we got a questioning false. They're not sure.
What do we think? All right. I'm going to reveal the answer. This is true. And I'm horrified to think about how they figured this out. But so for those of you who don't know, their fur changes color with the seasons. So they're white in the winter and they're actually quite dark in the summer. If you've ever seen a picture of them, you would be like, Arctic fox? They're definitely quite like brown. And they look super cool actually in the summer as well. So yeah, but they have the warmest fur of any
crazy.
mammal.
You're convincing me to want one as a pet now. You do realize that.
Well, we talked about that before we started recording, and they just get cooler the more you learn about them.
I know.
All right, so we learned the Arctic hare can survive up to -40. Do we think the Arctic fox can survive up to -70?
I'm gonna say false more, like colder.
Okay.
Because like they have the warmest fur, so I feel like it's gotta be like an insane amount that they can handle.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, we got confused.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Arctic foxes can withstand temperatures as low as -70. Jasmine said she thinks they can survive even colder temperatures.
Oh, we got a true. We got another true.
We've got lots of trues.
Yeah.
You're being outvoted at the moment. All right,
I'm sticking with it.
Let's see. All right, so it is false, but it's not as warm as -70 or as cold. It's warmer. So as low as -58 degrees. So they have it's for all of the reasons we've been talking about. So they have that warm fur. They have a very compact body shape, short everything else. Their tail is really thick. So in this little adorable like watercolor drawing that I have here off to the side, you can kind of see it, but they will sleep with that tail wrapped around themselves and they can basically hide in it. So and It's, of course, the most adorable thing ever to watch them do it. So, I
That is adorable.
recommend looking up some pictures
It's only
because they're just
18
so cute.
degrees. That's only 18 degrees colder than what the hair can handle. Like,
I know.
that's crazy.
I know. Well, I feel like at a certain point, though, every degree counts.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me.
Yeah. I feel like
Uh
if, from an outside perspective, it's like, "Oh, it's not that much colder," but if you actually experienced it, you probably would
yeah.
understand.
Well, you gotta think too, like, the wind and everything is just gonna make it colder. So,
Yeah.
anyway, alright, Arctic foxes closely follow polar bears to scavenge their food. So, do they, like, trot along beside or behind beside would really be bold. Do they
That would be
closely
scary.
trot behind polar bears to scavenge their food?
That's a That'd be crazy. I'm gonna say true just because I feel like foxes can be kinda scrappy, you know?
Alright, Janet
It's kind of
agrees.
a dangerous choice,
Yeah,
though, with polar
it
bears being
feels like
so
a poor
dangerous.
life decision, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you live in -58, temperatures, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
but the polar bear can smell a seal, what, like 20 miles away? I feel like if you're trotting along behind it, I don't know.
It's
I
not a great idea.
not a super awesome idea, but Janet is staying with it. Thinks this one is true.
We got a little laughing sticker. I'm gonna take that as true. That's I'm just gonna take it unless you change your answer.
Oh man, I stopped getting responses. I don't know what's happening. Janet's
And
came
we
up
just
a bunch of times and then I have nothing.
Oh,
Oh, bummer
I
man.
think we got some more coming in. Yep, we got a true.
Because
Just
I
gotta let them
definitely don't
think.
see any stickers. Facebook is starting to hate on me.
Oh, I'm seeing some stickers here.
Okay. All right. Well, I apologize for not being able to see your answers or your stickers of enthusiasm or despair, depending. All right. So this is true. And in fact, this is really, really, really essential to their survival. I personally think it's wild. Like, I would not like be trailing a
I'm
polar
bold.
bear. I don't know. I mean, I guess if I was really super hungry, perhaps, but whew. They will also follow Arctic wolves. It's
Wow.
more common with polar bears, but either way, I don't know. That's like you said, this very, very, very bold strategy. But it's one of their main ones for getting food. The scraps of polar bears.
That's
Um,
crazy.
all right, Arctic foxes can run up to 40 miles per hour.
I don't know about that one. That's like it's a tough one. We've had a lot of speed questions, and now
I know.
I'm totally gonna overthink this one.
Well,
I'm gonna
speed is important.
say I'm gonna say less. I'm gonna say maybe
Okay.
a bit less.
All
Oh, we
right.
got a less.
They said true first, and then less.
Change my mind. Oh, we got a
Just
false.
clarifying false. Okay. Anybody else care to take a guess about how fast Arctic foxes can run? With those tiny little legs?
We still got quite a few people watching, so don't be shy.
Don't be shy. It is totally okay to be, quote, wrong.
Yeah, this is just for fun and learning.
This is for fun and learning. I can tell you when I make these presentations, I have a shocked look on my face. Like I don't just
You're
like type
learning
this
too.
up because I know all of this stuff. I do like deep dive research. So this is not just like, yeah, everyday knowledge for me. So do not be shy. All right. Well, for the sake of time, I'm going to reveal the answer. It is slightly less. 30 miles per hour is still pretty good. This is
That's pretty fast.
yeah, I mean, It's crucial, obviously, for for catching their own prey when they're not just scavenging. But they have also a lot of agility as well. Not quite like the Arctic hare and like the zigzagging and stuff, but they also have excellent hearing. They're really good hunters, and they
They
scavenge, so
have
they
to
have
be.
like the dual threat going there. So,
Yeah, that's
all right.
crazy. I was right.
You were right. All right. Arctic foxes have litters of up to 25, the largest of any carnivore.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
That's almost excessive. Like, I feel like if it's true, like, calm down, you know?
I I can't even picture it. It like stops my
Yeah,
heart, that number.
I know. I'm gonna say true just because it's so outlandish. I almost want it to be true.
What do you guys think?
I think we got a couple falses in here.
What do we think? Anybody else care to
I'm just
wager a
guessing
guess?
false. I'm guessing 4. So we
All
kind of need a
right.
tiebreaker.
All right, here we go. This one is true. So,
Wow.
unfortunately, most of them don't survive. Like the survival rate is not good. So, in an effort for the species to make up for that, they have a whole lot of them at once.
Yeah. That's a
And
lot.
luckily, unlike a lot of other animals, the parents actually work together and help to feed and protect their large families. So it's not like, I don't know, the dad wanders off and like, see ya, good luck
Yeah.
with that. um,
Yeah.
so that they do work hard as a family unit, but sadly, it's just not all of them survive. So, oh,
That's a
sad story.
lot. That's a lot, though.
It's still a lot, yeah. All right, so lemmings, when they're not scavenging, lemmings are their main meal. That's their favorite. So, Arctic foxes can smell lemmings under up to 3.5 inches of snow, 3.5 feet of snow. I said
I'm
inches.
gonna
I meant feet.
say I'm gonna say false more. I think it's more.
Okay. What does everybody else think? Arctic foxes can smell lemmings under up to 3.5 feet of snow. All right, false more. What do we think? True.
We
Okay.
got some we got a couple agreeing with me, and then we have true. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm not leading everyone astray again. I've done it a couple times.
All right, let's see what we got here. This is it is false. It is slightly less. So around 30 inches, so 2.5 feet of snow. But they have a super duper duper awesome way of getting to them. So this is another video like looking up worthy event. So they'll dig, but then they also jump and repeatedly
I've
jump
seen
and jump
that.
and jump and jump until they break through enough to grab the lemming. It
Wow.
is super cool to watch. I
That
mean, they
must be
just
like
like don't give up. So
that's crazy. For the lemmings perspective. That must be like a monster movie, like
yeah. Oh, that would be
Jurassic Park or
nuts.
something.
Yes, exactly. Like if the T-Rex was like jumping repeatedly on
Yeah.
your house
Yeah,
and you
that's
had like no
crazy.
means of escape, that would be frightening from the I never thought about it from the lemmings perspective. And that, my friends, is all about Arctic animals. Does
That's
everyone
so
have a favorite
fun.
fact from today? What was your
I think
favorite fact?
honestly, the narwhal tusk being a tooth, it's just so weird and so random. I think that's my favorite.
I'm trying to think. There's so many good things we learned about today. Um,
Yeah.
I I feel like I have a couple, and I know like favorite should be one. The polar bear liver thing was interesting to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And then
Those
the a couple about the puffins, actually, how many times they flap their wings and how fast they are. But also the beak, like,
Yeah.
changing colors and glowing was also
Yeah.
super
Janet said the light up beak was her favorite.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's wild, and I had to look that up like, to see it, not just the
That is
words. I'm
crazy.
like,
I'm
"That
I'm
is so
definitely gonna have to look
insane."
that up
Yeah,
for sure.
it's crazy. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I think that there was a discount the one that I didn't remember what year it was, there's a discount code that is good for 1 week, for 15% off all of my Arctic animal resources. There should be a link, narwhal tusks having nerves. Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, and all
but
the things they can sense with it. Um, I have an insane number of Arctic animal resources, and Arctic foxes alone, I have about 5. So, if you are looking to build a unit study around Arctic animals, I've got you covered. So a special 15% off link for the good for the next week. Please stock up. Even if you don't plan on using it this year, there's always next year. So, and then
yeah.
these slides are also going to be available for the next week. So, you can play on your own, depending on, I don't know whether you're able to make it live or you're watching this as a replay. So you can take it and do it, yeah, on your own time with
Make
your
it
family
make it
and
a
all of
family
that.
event, you know?
Yeah,
Get
totally.
all your kids involved, all ages. This is
Absolutely.
super fun.
People always ask, like, what age group these classes are for, and I never know how to
Oh,
answer because I feel like they apply to everyone. I feel like everyone
yeah,
could have fun.
yeah.
So,
Even as an adult, this is super fun.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, if you also side fact, if you enjoyed this class, which I hope you did, I teach these types of classes multiple times a week. So on Wednesdays, I teach science related stuff. We are learning about bioluminescence tomorrow.
That's so
Super fun.
cool.
I teach history on Thursdays. We're learning about George Washington Carver. And then on Friday, I do more animals, and we are learning about the Komodo dragon this week.
That is
So,
so cool.
yeah, so we have lots of different clubs that you can join and get all of this stuff. If you don't like doing live, that is totally cool. I have lots of offline options as well. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys next month where I remember what year it is.